Good morning, everyone. Today with Bitcoin almost at 90K, we have so many movers. I mean, Fartcoin just went to over $1 billion market cap, as I was predicting since the bottom. POPCAT is moving, AWR is moving. We have so many movers. I'm going to show 14 charts of the best performers, and these are the memes that are exploding on Solana. So let's get onto it because we have a lot of charts to dig. Starting with Fartcoin, the most important meme coin on the entire market, literally leading the entire altcoin market, okay? These are altcoins, by the way, okay? And they're gonna flip all the altcoins. What's gonna happen with Fartcoin is it pumped through the major resistance, which was $1 billion market cap. I think now it comes in retouches before it goes into the second level, which I have been saying for like almost 2 months now, which is 1.5 billion market cap. It's going there and leading the entire meme coin altcoin market. And then very important, we need to talk about POPCAT. POPCAT is outperforming Peanut, Arbitrum, I mean, all the altcoins, literally. And it's time you take it seriously because POPCAT will come back and make new all-time highs. If Bitcoin makes new all-time highs, 100%, look at how it moves. I told you guys, I said it would retouch support and it did twice. And now we're gonna go to 600 million. And then let's start talking about where else POPCAT's gonna go. When we plot our fib lines, the top fib level matches this previous resistance in July, this previous resistance in September, and this previous resistance in January 2025, which is very close to $1 billion market cap. And so that's what I'm seeing when it comes to a top on POPCAT. It makes perfect sense. This will be the second resistance, major resistance level. After this, it is straight up to probably new all-time highs. And from here to that second level, you can still get a 3x. POPCAT is still a good trade. Now let's move on to Troll. This was the perfect support line. It really matched this first resistance here. It turned into support. It turned into support again. Support got broken, but just slightly. But look, higher lows. If support gets broken, but not too much, and we see higher lows, yeah, it's not really a problem. This happens a lot with meme coins. They pull back a little bit deeper. That's why sometimes instead of just putting one support line, you should go and see, is there another support lower? And look at where these candles closed. Resistance. This is a good range. So instead of just putting one support line, it's always good to put a range where you can accumulate your coin. And you're going to see this throughout other coins as well. I think 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗏𝗃 also did something very similar. But this was the accumulation range for Troll. We picked up some Troll, and I think it's ready to move. Now let's plot some fibs and see how high Troll can go. Well, according to our fib lines, the top and the 1.6 fib extension is right around very close to 20 million market cap, so 18.55. Makes perfect sense. This is a good target for Troll. I would leave some limit orders here at support, an actual one slightly below just in case, but from around 5 million market cap, we're talking about, you know, almost a 4x, a 3.5, 3.6x on your money. But here's what's interesting. Yesterday I posted wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. I'm talking momentum wave because in reality it's like wave 1, 2, this is the third one, fourth one, and then the fifth one, which usually is the last of the momentum. But I just like to simplify things, and so we have a first wave, then we have a second momentum wave, and then a third one. Usually the third one is the last. This is the top usual. And I'm going to show you an example further in another chart where it made actually 4 waves, which is not common, but it happens with meme coins because people get excited. And so now the question is, for a coin to go higher and become major, this entire 3 waves, this entire momentum has to be wave 1. And now we're going to get wave 2. And wave 2 is usually bigger and larger than wave 1. And so maybe wave 2 goes all the way to 40 million market cap. 40, okay? Because this is the actual top, the last extension of our fib line. That's a possibility. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm bullish Troll, okay? I think Troll can do big things. And then the third wave is usually smaller and it happens faster. But maybe the second wave is this 1.6 fib. Then it retraces to 1 fib, which would be the previous top, which was 11 million. And then we get a third wave to 40 million. But right now, let's focus on where Troll is. Troll is bouncing hard. Troll has all the momentum. And I do think 18 million is on the cards. And so that's what I'm betting on right now when it comes to Troll. Now, one of my favorites, AWR, not really much to add. Went to 4, retouched resistance. It might touch it again, but I think here or a little bit lower at 3.4 million, these are like anywhere here is still good to accumulate. Even though we're already up 4x from the bottom, I've been talking about AWR since the bottom, and it's still one of my favorites. And we're still on target for that 10x. The 10x and then new all-time highs. So that's what we're talking about when it comes to AWR, okay? Everything is happening exactly as we have been predicting. Major underrated Solana community, might be the most underrated. These guys can do big things. This thing can surprise everyone. It's not gonna surprise me or you because you've been hearing about it since the bottom. Now, another one, very similar to that chart we pulled on Troll. Accumulation range, 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗏𝗏 remained within this accumulation range. It exploded above and and is now retouching support. I think it's still a good buy, and I think people see it as a Fartcoin beta, just like Housecoin. I think now there's a chance it bounces. If it does bounce, the question is like, what's the next level? And what I'm seeing is right around here, okay? There's gonna be some clear resistance between 35 and 32. There's gonna be some resistance here. Look, resistance here, resistance, 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 resistance. Yeah, this level here is a good level to maybe take your initials or take some profits on Bitcoin if you have been accumulating within this range, or if you're gonna buy on this bounce and you think it's gonna go to 35, 32. That's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin right now. Big community, and I think that there's a good chance that it bounces here. The entire meme coin market is very strong, okay? And this is gonna be meme coins 2.0. It's gonna be stronger and faster. Remember what I said about waves? You have wave 1, 2, the second one is always the strongest. This entire thing is meme coins 2.0. It's gonna be the second wave of meme coins. This is where meme coins flip all the altcoins, the entire altcoin market. It's all gonna become meme coins. Now, very interesting as well, we have 𝗵𝗠, the 𝗵𝗠 comeback, up 60% on the daily, on the 24-hour. I told you guys, support, and it came in almost touched, but this is good. It didn't actually, because it made a higher low. And now we're gonna go for that 7x between 30 and 25. Look, resistance here, accumulation, support here, resistance. Okay, this is the range for 𝗵𝗠, and it's a 7x. You can get a 7x here. Big meme, everyone's still using it, strong community. And so yeah, I actually think 𝗵𝗠 will go into this range. It's gonna happen fast and aggressively. Major meme coin, everyone's sleeping on it. It's 𝗘𝗫 on Hyperliquid. You want an easy AX, 7x? There you go. I mean, I have nothing to add. Once again, use logic. If you think Bitcoin will do all-time highs this year, or will go to at least 100K, what do you think will happen to Hyperliquid? Yeah, it's gonna do all-time highs, and it will outperform Bitcoin. What do you think happens to the premier meme coin on Hyperliquid, which is probably one of the few little ones that makes sense and has some profits? What do you think is gonna happen to this meme? It will make all-time highs, and it will do it in a more aggressive fashion and faster. This is where you make all the money, is meme coins when no one believes in them. If you're on a Hyperliquid, and let's say your portfolio is 10K, you should be holding 𝗘𝗫. You should have 0 Hyperliquid, okay? That's what I'm saying. Aura farm. Remember what I said about Aura farm? We had scenario 1 and scenario 2. Scenario 2 is this resistance, support, now resistance, turns into support. It breaks above and then it stays up here. But I also said that's low likelihood, okay? High likelihood scenario is it comes, I was talking about it when it was here, and it will retouch this trend line, which was resistance, support. That's what it did. And it went slightly below. And I told you guys, leave limit orders here, okay? And so all you had to do is go on Axiom. There's the link is down below. Go on Axiom. All you had to do is this, and then click buy. That's it. You can go to sleep. The chart will reach your level. You wake up and you're up on more than a double, on like a 2.5x. That's all you had to do. I told you guys about this 800K level. It came here twice, the second time to perfection, and now it bounced higher lows. Once this major resistance gets broken, look at this trend line, okay? Big support, big resistance. Once this gets broken, I think Aura farm either goes nuclear, and we're talking 5 million plus, and we have big parabola, or this thing will flip into support before it goes nuclear. But that's what I'm seeing on Aura farm. A major parabola coming. This is a very big trend on TikTok and social media, and now the likelihood is way more bullish than it was previously. Either it goes straight nuclear once it breaks, or this thing turns into support. If it turns into support, guys, it will eventually go into a parabola. It will go nuclear, okay? And now the question is, what are the levels? The top fib line extension sees this thing go to something like 7.6 million market cap. I think this is a good level, honestly. It's not a usual level. This chart is also not your usual meme coin chart. And so this is a good take profit, and it's very close. If you grabbed it at 800K, very close to a 10x, something like a 9x trade. Aren't you happy? Now let's talk about low cap gems. So this guy I interviewed that made $8 million, FOMO. Have you seen his banner on X? Look, this is FOMO's banner on X. Ethereum Maxi, it's this meme coin at 200K. I think it's a good buy here if you want to get a 10x, even prior to all-time highs, right around here. There you go. This is alpha. I think this is going to be a good meme coin, and it definitely can 10x. High risk, high reward. And so here's, secret little gem within all of these meme coin charts. Then another one that is very good is this one called Lore AI. Let's go on the website. This helps you track trends, okay? And it condenses all the trends. It's like a mix of Cookie DAO, Kaito, but all for memes. And I'm surprised no one did this prior. It's very good, very useful. And it's sitting very low, sitting at 300K. I think this is also a good gem. I bought some here at 200K. I'm bullish, and I think this thing can also pull a 10x. I'm also gonna wait and see if this thing goes to at least 2 million market cap, which would be a 10x for me, but it can definitely go higher. So that's my first TP on Lore AI. Very useful. Look, it tells you what influencers are buying. No one's paying attention to this type of stuff. I think 𝗘𝗫𝗙𝗙 can end up doing quite well. Then remember dark? We grabbed some dark here at 2 million, even 1 million market cap. And then we sold on that first pulse. Now, I was expecting this thing when it went to 23 million market cap to pull back deeper and come into this major previous resistance, now support of 10 million and 9 million. The thing is, it didn't pull that deep and it actually just kept going to 40 million market cap, which is where I'm seeing something like Troll can also do 40 million market cap. And all of these are still topping the good ones at 40 million and finding major difficulty there. So now I think this is again a good accumulation zone, even though this is support also. Look, support here, resistance here as well. So it's currently at support. I think the support line, there's a good chance it's not going to hold. At least, 60% chance it comes a little bit deeper. So if you're looking for dark, I would leave a limit order here. Just grab it on Axiom, enter Axiom, put your money there and leave your limit orders. You should be trading meme coins with limit orders, not just on Jupiter. But that's what I think when it comes to dark. 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏, nothing has changed. I told you guys it was going to come close to this trend line. It got touched 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. The 4th time it actually didn't get touched. I think many people are starting to use limit orders and scooping them a little bit higher. I would still leave some orders here at 4 million, at 4.9, even one a little bit lower, 4.3. I think these are good places to leave limit orders. There's a chance it comes back here before this thing goes into new all-time highs. There's going to be some resistance here at 10 million market cap. And so this is good if you want like a double, a quick, fast double. You could have doubled your money from here to here. You could have doubled it from here to here. You could have, and you could be up quite a lot if you grabbed it again and did this. You could double your money again. So that's what I would do. I would trade this more as a scalp. Even though this is a huge trend, it might be the biggest trend. So if you want to hold this thing for the long term and wait for it to come to 20 million or maybe a little bit higher, I'm not going to judge you. And I do think 6 million could be a good level to enter on 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏, even though I would still leave some limit orders down below at 4.9, 4.3, 4.5. Then we have 𝗿𝗟𝗏. 𝗿𝗟𝗏 is very weird. Look, first wave, second momentum wave, third. Usually this is the top, but it went and it made a 4th one because it was just that strong. This major support 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times got broken. And now 𝗿𝗟𝗏 is going that low and touching that support line, which was, look, previous resistance twice, support throughout April 19th, and now support again 22nd of April. This is where you buy 𝗿𝗟𝗏. It's currently at support, and in the worst case scenario, if we zoom on the chart, I think this is a good range because this is where the candles closed. Okay, candle close here, candle close here. I think this is the range, right between 2.3 and 1.9. If you want to leave some limit orders at like 2.1, maybe one lower at like 2, but here at 2.9, it's still a good buy. If it comes and touches support again, I think you should leave a limit order because there's a good likelihood it got touched once, maybe it comes and touches it twice and pulls it just a little bit deeper, and that would be normal. And then if support holds, the question is, where is 𝗿𝗟𝗏𝗏 going to go? Okay, what's the top? This is what the fibs are telling us. A top here at 18 million market cap, which makes total sense. Usually people sell very close to 20 million. 20 million is usually that mental level where there's a ton of resistance and difficulty. Of course, there's going to be some resistance here at all-time high, but 18 million is the major resistance for 𝗿𝗟𝗏𝗏. Of course, if support holds and if this thing can actually become bullish again. Then after 18 million, we can start talking about 43 million, which is, look, the best memes find some difficulty here at this 40 million market cap. If 𝗿𝗟𝗏 can pull a dark, if 𝗿𝗟𝗏 can be a 𝗕𝗫𝗍𝒑, if 𝗿𝗟𝗏 can be a routine, that's how high you can dream it going. I do not advise people to hold that long. Take some profits here and then maybe have some patience and see what happens. 3-wave theory, okay? Wave 1 was this entire move. This will be wave 2, and then wave 3 will probably be the 40 million market cap one, okay? Now let's zoom. Still at support. If support holds, this could be incredibly bullish. There's a lot of big people holding bags of 𝗿𝗟𝗏𝗏. If it goes below this support line, the second support line, it doesn't hold the range, I think it's over. But that's what I'm seeing on 𝗿𝗟𝗏𝗏. It could be very, very bullish. Thank you guys. I hope you have enjoyed the show. I hope I delivered all the alpha to you guys. I hope these gems do the 10x's and do the 5x's. So far, we've been nailing a lot of trades. I know because I get DMs from people saying, look, thank you. I made money on Alt. I'm up like 5x on AWR, etc. And the market is still like just beginning to recover. So now imagine with Bitcoin at all-time highs, imagine how much more money we're going to make with meme coins. And we have a big advantage because all the other guys are still waiting for their alt season, which is never going to happen. So once again, if you want to be trading meme coins like a pro, use Axiom. There's a link down below. Eventually, you'll be able to join my private if you use my link, of course. I'll be here all throughout all of the meme season, and we're going to make tons of money. And this channel is going to work hard to provide as much alpha as possible. See you guys tomorrow.